They come into the market believing they can control it, believing that intelligence, logic, and a well-designed plan will protect them. They open their charts, draw their lines, and convince themselves that they are ready. But the market smiles. Because it has seen 1,000 of them before, it watches quietly as another confident trader steps forward, armed with theories, with strategies, with YouTube wisdom and borrowed courage. He believes he's in control, but in truth he's already been caught in the illusion. The illusion of control is the most seductive lie in trading. It makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like you understand. It convinces you that if you can predict enough, study enough, analyze enough, you can somehow tame the chaos. But the market cannot be tamed. It is not a beast you conquer. It is an ocean, infinite, alive, breathing, and it doesn't care about your plans. Every new trader believes the same myth, that the secret to success lies in knowing. Knowing when to buy, knowing when to sell, knowing what others don't. But what they don't realize is that the moment they seek control, they have already surrendered it. The charts are not your enemies. Your own mind is. Your desire to predict, your craving for certainty, is the very weakness the market feeds upon. Trading is not a game of intelligence. It is a game of surrender. The professional trader doesn't fight the market. He flows with it. He understands that control is an illusion, and that survival depends not on being right, but on staying disciplined when wrong. The beginner seeks to master the chart. The master seeks to master himself. That is the difference. The novice builds strategies to protect his ego. The professional builds systems to protect his capital. One seeks to be proven right. The other seeks to stay alive. When you believe you control the market, you stop listening. You stop adapting. You stop learning. And that's when the market takes everything from you. Not out of cruelty, but out of balance. It humbles every ego that tries to dominate it. Look closely at your last loss. Was it really because the setup failed? Or was it because you refused to accept what the market was telling you? Maybe you moved your stop loss just one more time. Maybe you doubled your position to get it back. Maybe you thought, I know it will turn. And in that moment, you weren't trading the market. You were trading your own illusion. The illusion of control blinds you to the truth. That trading is a mirror. And every trade reveals the person you truly are. The market doesn't test your system. It tests your patience, your discipline, your ability to surrender when your ego wants to fight. That's why 95% of traders lose. Not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack humility. You think you're controlling the market, but the market is controlling you. It decides when you feel confident, when you feel fear, when you think you're in sync. And by the time you realize it, your emotions have already written your next loss. So remember this. Control is not something you take from the market. It's something you earn from yourself. You cannot dominate uncertainty. You can only coexist with it. The moment you stop trying to control the outcome and start mastering your own reactions, that's when you truly begin to trade. Hope. It sounds beautiful, doesn't it? It's the light we hold when everything else fades. It's what keeps us alive when the world turns dark. But in trading, hope is the most dangerous drug you'll ever taste. It doesn't come in bottles or syringes. It doesn't look toxic. It feels good, reassuring, even righteous. But like all addictions, it blinds you from reality. A losing trade doesn't destroy a trader. Hope does, because when you should be cutting your loss, you start whispering to yourself, maybe it'll come back. Maybe this candle will reverse. Maybe the news will turn in my favor. And before you know it, you're no longer analyzing the market. You're praying to it. That's the moment discipline dies. Every great trader knows this truth. Hope has no place in execution. You can hope for success. You can hope for mastery. But the moment you hope for a single trade to save you, you're done. Because in that moment, you're no longer following your plan. You're following your emotion. Hope disguises itself as patience, but it's not patience. It's fear wearing a mask. You're not waiting for confirmation. You're avoiding the pain of admitting you were wrong, and that's what makes hope so deadly. It seduces you with comfort. It tells you it's okay to hold on.
It tells you that maybe, just maybe, the market will forgive you. But the market doesn't forgive.
It only reflects. When you hold on to hope, you are fighting the truth. And the truth doesn't lose. It waits, silently, until your account balance reminds you who's in control. I've seen traders destroy months of progress in a single day. Not because of a bad system, but because they couldn't let go. They clung to hope like a drowning man clings to a broken piece of wood, believing it will float, when it's already pulling them under. Every maybe you whisper in a losing position is another chain around your neck. You don't see it at first. It feels harmless, even logical. But one maybe becomes two. Two become five. And soon you're trapped, frozen between reality and fantasy, unable to act, watching your equity drain while your mind keeps saying, just a little longer. Discipline is not destroyed by mistakes. It's destroyed by denial, and denial grows in the soil of hope. You must understand this. There is a difference between belief and hope. Belief is grounded in reason, in probability, in logic. Hope is blind, emotional, desperate. Belief aligns with your system. Hope fights against it. The professional trader kills hope the moment it appears. He doesn't wait and see, he acts. Because he knows every second of hesitation costs money. But worse, it costs clarity. Hope whispers lies. It will turn soon. You were right all along. Just give it time. But discipline speaks truth. You were wrong. Cut it. Learn. Move on. The question is, whose voice do you listen to? Every time you let hope override discipline, you are teaching your mind to disobey. You are telling your future self that emotion matters more than logic. And soon that habit becomes your identity. You become the trader who always hopes instead of always acts. That's how accounts die slowly. Not in one blow, but in thousands of small hopeful decisions. Hope is not your friend in the market. It is the quiet assassin of discipline. It doesn't stab you in the back. It hugs you while you bleed. And when you finally open your eyes, you'll realize the market never took your money. Your hope did. If you want to survive, if you want to win, you must learn to replace hope with acceptance. Accept when you're wrong. Accept that the market owes you nothing. Accept that letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. Because the day you stop hoping for the market to change and start changing yourself instead, that's the day you become a trader. Every trader walks into the market thinking they're fighting others. But the truth is, the battle isn't out there. It's inside. The chart isn't your opponent. The institutions aren't your enemies. The algorithm isn't your threat. Your real battle is with yourself. With your emotions. With that storm that lives inside your chest every time you click buy or sell. Fear and greed. Two forces that shape every decision, every hesitation, every downfall. Fear whispers, don't lose. Greed screams, take more. And between them, discipline suffocates. That's why trading isn't just about strategy. It's about psychological warfare. When you're afraid, your vision narrows. You stop seeing what's in front of you. You see what you fear might happen. You start exiting too early. You cut your winners short. You trade not to win, but to avoid pain. And when greed takes over, you do the opposite. You hold too long. You add to bad trades. You chase candles, revenge trade, ignore your plan. Because in that moment, you're not trading with reason. You're trading with hunger. Fear and greed are not random emotions. They are ancient. They come from the same place that kept our ancestors alive, the fight or flight response. But in the market, that survival instinct becomes your greatest weakness. Because here, survival is not about reacting fast. It's about staying still. Every time you feel the urge to act impulsively, you are standing at the edge of your own destruction. A professional trader doesn't eliminate emotion. He understands it. He studies it. He learns its language. He knows that when his heart starts to race him, it's not the market. It's his fear speaking. When his hands tremble on the mouse, it's not volatility. It's greed whispering, one more trade. The emotional battlefield isn't a chart. It's a mirror, and every trade reflects who you really are. If you are impulsive, the market will expose it. If you are greedy, it will magnify it. If you are afraid, it will feed on it, because the market has only one job, to reveal the truth. That's why discipline feels so hard. Because to be disciplined, you must confront your own darkness. You must face the fear of missing out, the fear of being wrong, the fear of losing what you think defines you. And most traders can't do that. They hide behind indicators, signals, gurus, anything to avoid facing themselves. But eventually, the market finds them, and it always collects its due. Fear destroys opportunity. Greed destroys balance. And together they create chaos. The professional trader doesn't fight them. He observes them. He turns fear into awareness. He turns greed into patience. He transforms emotion into information because he knows emotions are not the problem. Identification is, the moment you identify with your emotion, you become it. You are no longer feeling fear. You are being fear, and once that happens, you lose control. The battlefield is silent. There are no guns, no blood, only the quiet ticking of time and the echo of your own thoughts. Every entry, every exit, every decision was a bullet fired in that inner war. Some hit the target. Most don't. But the more you train your mind, the steadier your aim becomes. To win this war, you must stop trying to suppress emotion. You must learn to feel without reacting, to see fear and not obey it, to feel greed and not feed it, to be aware yet unmoved. That's where true power begins. Not in knowledge, not in prediction, but in emotional neutrality. The market is not testing your system. It's testing your self-control, and the moment you realize that every candle is a mirror, you'll stop trying to conquer the market and start conquering yourself. The emotional battlefield never ends. You don't win it once. You win it every day, every trade, every moment you choose discipline over impulse, because in the end, the greatest victory in trading is not financial. It's psychological. When the war within is silent, the market finally becomes your ally. They say discipline is a cage. That it limits freedom, restricts spontaneity, kills creativity. But in trading, the truth is the opposite. Discipline is freedom. It's the paradox every great trader must eventually face, that only through strict structure can you find real liberation. At first, discipline feels like chains. You wake up at the same time. You follow the same routine. You risk the same percentage. You take only the setups that meet your rules. It feels robotic. It feels boring. It feels like you're suffocating the art of trading. But that's exactly where transformation begins. Because discipline is not the absence of freedom. It's the foundation of it. Freedom without structure is chaos. And chaos is what destroys traders. Every blown account, every broken system, every emotional decision comes from one thing: a lack of structure. Without rules, you drift. Without limits, you overreach. Without order, you become prey to your own impulses. The market doesn't destroy you. Your freedom does. Think about it. A professional athlete doesn't wake up and hope to perform well. He follows a routine. He trains when he doesn't want to. He disciplines his body so that, in the moment of truth, he can perform freely. The same is true for trading. The more you discipline your mind and method, the more freely you can move within the market. Because you're no longer reacting to chaos. You're flowing within a structure you trust. That's the paradox. Discipline feels like control, but it actually creates peace. Structure feels limiting, but it creates flow. Consistency feels repetitive, but it creates mastery, and mastery is the highest form of freedom. Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect. It's you saying, my capital deserves protection. My emotions don't control me. My strategy matters more than my mood. It's you declaring to the market, I am not here to gamble. I am here to endure. The undisciplined trader lives in reaction. Every tick controls his emotion. Every candle dictates his mood. When the market moves up, he feels invincible. When it moves down, he feels broken. But the disciplined trader, he doesn't react. He responds. His mind is calm. His plan is clear. His actions are consistent, no matter how wild the chart becomes, because he doesn't trade for excitement. He trades for longevity. Discipline is not built in moments of confidence. It's forged in moments of doubt, when everything inside you screams to break. The rule: to chase one more trade, to move that stop loss just a little further. And that's the moment discipline is tested. And if you hold the line, if you choose logic over emotion, you gain something priceless: trust in yourself. That trust becomes your edge, not an indicator, not a signal, but the quiet certainty that you can depend on your own behavior, no matter what the market does. Discipline is freedom because it removes uncertainty. It eliminates decision fatigue. It frees your mind from chaos. When you know your rules, you are no longer guessing. When you follow your plan, you are no longer reacting. And when you accept your limits, you are no longer afraid. That's freedom. Not the freedom to do anything, but the freedom to do the right thing over and over again, without hesitation. Every professional trader, every master, reaches this realization at some point. You don't rise through freedom. You rise through discipline, because the more structure you create, the more peace you find. And in that peace, your true power emerges. So when the market opens tomorrow and you feel that urge to break your rule, to chase a setup that isn't there, to listen to that whisper that says, just this once. Remember this: freedom is not doing what you want. Freedom is having the strength to do what you should, and that strength is called discipline.